Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and welcome to this secrets book haul video. These books should not be in my home, but they are. Do I know where they came from? No. I don't have any memory of me going to the store, looking at these books, purchasing these books, and then bringing them in here. But sometimes we have to embrace the mysteries of life and open our minds to the impossible and embrace mystique. And so today, that's what we're going to be doing. Let me just fix my hair really quick. I've had no sleep, no vitamins, plural. So I'm bringing you this video from the crypt, the cave, the cavern. Okay, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome first of all. I have put most of my stuff in storage. My partner and I are leaving the country for a period of years. We're moving, and so I can't take physical books with me because they're too heavy. So what are these? I don't know, but I guess I'm gonna have to read them or take them with me on the plane, which is not what I was supposed to do. Again, you have to roll with life, okay? You can't try and control things all the time, especially yourself and your money. Did you know that contemporary science, objective, true science, says that we don't have free will? So that's why this is occurring. Okay, though. There they are. I think we should look at them, and I'll go one by one. I'm not going to spend too long on them because I haven't read them yet, and so I'm only going to give my basic impression of them, and maybe you will see something that catches your interest and that you might want to read. So sit back and relax and enjoy this secret book haul. Okay, I'm going to start with maybe the least Instagram-y book talk, popular book, and then the second book will be the biggest, hugest Instagram social media book probably ever, in my opinion. So our nichest book is Weather. This is Weather. Oh, can you see it? It has a glare on it. Because this book is beautiful. It's got like a library copy, like crunchy plastic cover. That's enough reason to buy a book typically. Sorry if that's like a weird sound. This is Weather by Jenny Awful. That'd be cool if it pronounced awful. Jenny Awful. That's awesome. Maybe it's awful though, I don't know. What I think this book is about is a woman who works at a library, and she answers people for a newspaper column where people write in for advice about their kind of crappy circumstances. And the inside cover says that slowly over time she has a hard time responding with hope, and I think her personal life kind of unravels, and that might come out in her letters. From what I can tell, the writing is a little bit experimental. It seems that everything is in kind of paragraph format. I'll show you. It's kind of written in these short chunks, these kind of like little paragraphs, almost like stanzas, but it's not poetry. It's fiction, so hold on, let me close it, it's really loud. Have you heard of this book before? I never heard of it. I just walked in a used bookstore and I said, is that a crunchy plastic cover? Let me get it. Let me touch it. And I read the inside and I thought, this sounds amazing. Like a depressed woman working in a library, answering other depressed people who write to her. Of course I gotta get it. So is gonna be super social media-y, and it is. I apologize in advance, but I have to read it. I gave in, you know what I mean? It is my year of rest and relaxation. You already know. It's by our girl Otessa. How do you pronounce his last name? Otessa. This book, you've seen it before, definitely. Like, I have seen it before. For what feels like a million billion years, I've seen this book on a shelf. And I finally, you know what? I have something to say. And I didn't buy this book for a long time because book reading and books are so highly aestheticized today that this book is associated with an aesthetic that I don't resonate with. I see it all I saw, oh my gosh, my girlfriend sent me this, like a screenshot of a video that said, POV, men hate me. And it was like this and a Lana Del Rey CD. And it was dead serious. So, I've been avoiding this book because of I don't get it. Also, the bell jar was in that video. Like, of course. I'm gonna read it anyway. Is this book for me? Am I a feral lit girl? Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna read it anyway because books are for everybody. Okay. Great cover. I don't know. I'm gonna read it. I don't know what it's about. I don't even know what it's about. But it was in a section called Feral Women. So, I'm gonna read it. I gave in. Alright, everybody. Moving on. Our next book. This is a 2005. This is Come Out of the Crypt Like Me. And it's about time I read it. I somehow made it through all of school not reading this thing, but it is The Book Thief. And I have met people in person who say that this is their favorite book of all time. I think like 3, but 3 is a lot of people to meet who read and then say that this is their favorite book of all time. So, I'm gonna give this a go. Yeah, it's on a lot of book lists, and I just want to be in the know. The general theme of this list, by the way, is fiction. I read a lot of nonfiction, a ton of nonfiction, but I'm in the summer mood, and so we're going full fiction. The Book Thief. I'm gonna read it. Okay, let's move on. This next bad boy on the list I got because of 2 things. No, 3 things. I'm lying to you. The first is the cover. Let's look at it. It is called The Sheltering Sky. What a really beautiful cover. This is by Paul Bowles. Yes. Paul Bowles. There's 2 names. I was like, who's this? Okay. So, a beautiful cover. I picked it up. And then 2 things on the back. The first is a picture of the author. Check this guy out. Check this guy out. You have to see him. Hold up. Bro, look at this guy. Can you see this? I was like, hello. And in the back, this is an older book. And it seems to be about 3 Americans who are wandering in the North African desert after World War II. So I like that time period that it's set in. And it talks about that the landscape really wears them down, and it's kind of about not being able to fully acclimate to a foreign environment. It says, The Sheltering Sky explores the limits of humanity when it touches the unfathomable emptiness and impassive cruelty of the desert. It sounds kind of dark, but I like a really dark adventure story. If you've seen other videos, you know I like Dan Simmons. I like kind of historical fiction that talks about adventure and then catastrophic adventure. I really like that. So I saw this book and I thought, sure, why not? Or did I? I don't remember buying it, supposedly. But theoretically, I saw this and theoretically I bought looking forward to reading it. Because I'm going to read it. Right? I'm gonna read it. And I'll let you know how it is. But let's check out the next book. This next book got recommended to me because I really, really, really like Daniel Mason's Northwoods. It is now one of my favorite books of all time, and I already can't wait to reread it. Sorry about that, my microphone was being a freak, so I had to pause, but what was I saying? Yeah, Daniel Mason's Northwoods, all I really like is a wilderness story, and a kind of story about humanity in isolation, which is a strong theme in Northwoods. And somebody recommended to me a very different book that made them cry. That is Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone. I've seen this on some people's favorite book lists, and that combined with the recommendation, I thought, let me get it also. A book to make me cry. Absolutely, always. Anything to feel something. Okay. This seems to be about a family who live off-grid in Alaska. The year is 1974. Can you imagine? And it seems to be that they kind of are very challenged in that kind of their mental life is deteriorating, which I really, really like. I really, really like that. So I'm very open. I don't know much about the book beyond that. Hold on, there's a dog barking. I forgot what I was saying, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. I do not know how other ASMR artists film in one take. The amount of sounds my body makes, I never knew. Until I started this channel and I was watching footage back and I would be like, dang, what is wrong with my body? I'm making the weirdest noises. But today it's not me, it's a couple of really bad poodles. They're on the other side of this wall. Okay. The Great Alone by, did you hear that? Ooh. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Really, really excited for this one. Okay. Next book. Speaking of kind of nature stories, I picked up this one. The Overstory by Richard Powers. This is a winner of the Pulitzer. I am a sucker for a sticker. If I see a sticker on a book, I'll get it. I'm part of the problem. I love it. I love a recommendation. I love an endorsement. I've seen also, doesn't every book, it's New York Times bestseller. I see that on every book. And it gets me every time. I'm like, I'll take a bestseller. Okay, so the Overstory. I don't fully understand what this is about. It seems to be similar-ish to Northwoods. I don't know. Different concentric stories that all revolve around the natural world. Yes. So these stories, it says, range from antebellum New York to the late 20th century timber wars of the Pacific Northwest and beyond. I had to wait for those poodles again. Oh my gosh. Okay. The Overstory by Richard Powers. Another book I can't wait to read. You know what? I gotta say, I don't know who put these pile of books next to me, but they're all great. I think it's a sign of a really good book haul when you can't even begin to think about which one you're gonna read next. I couldn't tell you. They're all very exciting. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, and this one I saw in a bookstore. I loved the cover. Turns out, I think the internet is also picking up on this book. It is Monstrilio. Yeah, I think that's right. Monstrilio. And the author's name is Gerardo Samano Cordova. I think that's how you pronounce it. Very cool. It seems to be kind of Frankenstein-esque. It's about a mother who wants to bring her son back. But when she does, he's kind of a weird, or it's not really her son. Something is alive. And it seems to be not so much like straight up in your face horror. It seems maybe a bit more literary. But I'm not sure. And I don't care. It could be either. I don't care. I'm very excited to read it. And I think it's gonna be great. Have you heard of this? I've been seeing since somebody got this. I didn't. I've seen it on the internet. Yeah. So, it looks good, looks great. Let's see. What else we got? Okay. This next book, boy oh boy. If I had to pick which one I was most excited to read next, it might be this one. And I'll show you why. It is called Hidden Pictures. What's his name? Jason Rebliak. It is about a babysitter. She's watching this kid and he's making really weird drawings. And she's like, what's up with that? And mystery unfolds from there. That's all I need to know. That's a thumbs up. I'm gonna get it. And let me show you the real selling point for this book is the child's drawings are in it. And you get to see, I love an adult book with pictures. Normalize that. Let's do it. Check out this really scary picture. Jump scare warning. Right? Like if a kid drew this, I would say, what's going on here? Yeah, apparently, according to the back of the book, his drawings were normal, and then one day they get really dark. So the babysitter wants to find out what's going on. I think that's a really fun premise. This seems like a fun read. Quite big, but I'm very looking forward to this book. If you're a fan of that, if you're a fan of horror, maybe check this thing out. I haven't read it yet, but I'm already maybe the most excited for this one. So, okay, that was that one. Let's go. Going lightning fast. Alright. Okay, wait, I just said that other one was one I'm most looking forward to. It's really fighting with this one. This is Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. It has a sticker. It has Nobel Prize, winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature. Does that mean the book won that? Or did she win that? I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's Polish, and it's spelt. I'll put it on the screen. But her name is Olga, and then I'll put her full name on the screen. But okay, get this. Stay with me for a minute, okay? Just the back of this book. Normally, I read the back of a book. I say, okay, yeah, that's great. I read the back of this book, and I was like, are you kidding me? This might, if she pulls it off, which the reviews on this are good. This is gonna be like a huge heavy hitter. This might be absolute slam dunk home run book in a remote Polish village. Great start already. Janina devotes the dark winter days to studying astrology. Bing, 5 points. Translating the poetry of William Blake. Bing, 5 points. And taking care of the summer homes of wealthy Warsaw residents. 1 point. Her reputation as a crank and a recluse is only amplified by her not-so-secret preference for the company of animals over humans. 10 points. 10,000 points. Then a neighbor, Bigfoot, turns up dead. Soon other bodies are discovered in increasingly strange circumstances. As suspicions mount, Janina inserts herself into the investigation, certain that she knows who done it, if only anyone would pay her mind. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna say anything else about that book, only I can't wait. Okay, next book. Okay, I actually grabbed one out of order from the bottom, because it segues. It connects nicely. I don't know, vocabulary. Once there were wolves. This is by Charlotte McConaughey. Is that how you pronounce that? Charlotte McConaughey. It's the last names I'm really struggling with. Okay. If the other back of the book was good, this is also very good. It's about a woman. She comes with a team of biologists out in the woods to reintroduce 14 gray wolves. Incredible. It seems like she's going through some interpersonal stuff, some dark stuff with her sister. We don't know. And with all that going on, people are turning up dead. Yeah. Oh, a farmer. A farmer turns up dead. Yeah. Is it the wolves that are responsible? Is it someone else? Is it something else? I don't know. But we're gonna find out in this book. Once There Were Wolves, a novel, New York Times bestseller. Of course it is. New York Times. New York Times. This is kind of very similar. I'm portraying a lot about my taste in literature. Like, pretty much a fringe antisocial protagonist mixed with a whodunit, mixed with trees, forests, and animals. Kind of anything on that spectrum, I'm gonna buy it. You don't even have to convince me. I already bought it. Actually, I already bought it. So, okay. Check out this mini candle. Let's move on. I think we have 3 left. Can you believe that? 3 left in this secret book haul. Let's see what they are with ... So this book seems like kind of a bit austere, a bit solemn, a bit reflective. It is about a man writing to his son, a reverend writing to his son, and describing his relationship with his father. So we're talking multi-generational American stories. You know, it says he was writing these in 1956 towards the end of his life, so definitely very reflective. Yeah, seems to be an American story, early America. You know, kind of, yeah, he tells the story of sacred bonds between fathers and sons, you know, this type of thing. Yeah, this is great. I love a good old, like, American story, a kind of old American, I don't know, Puritan vibe story. So I'm very excited to check it out. I've never read anything from her, and she's written a lot of books that are very well liked. So I'm excited to read her stuff for the very first time. That is Gilead. Gilead by Marilyn Robinson. Okay, last 2. Let's see what we got. This is the shortest book in the stack, and it happens to be called A Short Stay in Hell. Yeah, there we go. Gotta get rid of the glare. This is by Stephen L. Peck. Stephen L. Peck. What a cool cover. It shows all these bookshelves, and there's a person kind of falling, a short stay in hell. From what I can tell, the very short description, it is a horror book about a man. He, after his life is over, he wakes up in a hell that isn't like biblical hell, that was created by God, that isn't our conception, any conception of God, and he has to get out. So, what a creative concept. I saw this actually on the shelf too. This was at a bookstore that seemed very well curated, and so I picked this up because it was really short. Yeah, it was one of those, you ever go in a bookstore and all the books are facing like with their spines out, and then there'll be one that's, you know, cover forward. I'm telling you, I'm a sucker for like stickers, and I'm a sucker for the book that's like this. Like sometimes those are the only ones I look at, which is terrible. It's not very readerly of me, but it worked. It got me. So short stay in hell. I'm very excited for this one, and yeah, it's nice to have a little short read every now and then. Okay, we got our last book. Let's do it. What is it? Well, I'm glad you asked. It is Trust. Trust by Hernan Diaz. Do I see a sticker? Winner of the Pulitzer. Oh, and what's that? Is this a New York Times bestseller? Oh yeah. I'm gonna get it. Okay. This seems quite interesting, I will say. This is a popular book. You might have seen this. I've seen it a lot. But I decided to get this. Actually, this book was at a queer pop-up store that was selling books, and I thought, okay, well, I gotta buy something, right? Like, you want to support it. And I saw this, and I got it. So it seems to be about this couple, Benjamin and Helen. Okay. And that they have risen to the top of the kind of wealthy ladder, right? But how did they get there? It must not be that simple. This is, it puts 4 competing narratives into conversation with one another. That's really the sentence that got me interested, not Benjamin and Helen, sorry. They didn't catch my attention, but that did. And I cracked it open, I read some of the writing, and I thought, this clicks with me. So I'm gonna see what's up with Benjamin and Helen. I'm gonna see what they're even up to. Do I even care? Yes, I do. And so I got it. And it is Trust by Hernan Diaz. It is a New York Times bestseller. New York Times just really, what are they doing? They're just gobbling up all the books. Like a little pack rat, just gobbling up all the literature. It works though. Like a moth to a flame. Here I come. I'm gonna get it. Okay. Okay, there they all are. But now the spines are facing out because it's no longer a secret. That's them. They've revealed themselves to both of us, and that's very exciting. Yeah, I think they all look great. I'm very excited. I think as I've gotten older, I've become more open to reading other kinds of books. It really used to be nonfiction purely, unless it, like the odd fiction book, which would always, knock my socks off, but I would still be like, time to go back to nonfiction. But lately, I've just been really, really, really enjoying fiction books. And so I'm just gonna keep going with that and ride the wave. I really appreciate you being here with me and putting up with poodles. Yeah, I hope you're doing very well. Day or night, whatever you're up to. I hope that it's very relaxing. I don't know how long this video is. I don't think it'll be too long, and hopefully not too short. I really like to aim for the... Is my body making that sound? Oh no. What was I saying? I like to aim for the 20-minute mark as a minimum, and then go up from there. So we'll see. Did I do it? I don't know. It's a mystery too. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm super excited to see you. Hopefully I'll be more rested and take like a multivitamin or something. I feel like I'm fading away. Yeah.